to sub to you to make sure that he could stream in this channel.
Yeah, I couldn't stream because my sub ran out like 5 hours ago. Got to pay to do this job. Unbelievable.
That's really funny. Yeah, give fuck, man.
I was like, how did the raid go?
Oh, it was really fucking fun. We did 3 encounters, I think. And then there was a boss which was like, now do all of the above, but while this boss is shooting at you. And we were close. We got him down to like 40% at one point.
Oh, sick. How far, like, is that the final boss of the raid, or?
Nope.
Oh, God.
There's like another couple of encounters after this, I think, and the big final boss.
Is this like base game?
This is a remake of a raid from Destiny 1. Which is fun because I did it in Destiny 1, so I kind of remembered what to do, except not. I think they've changed mechanics in the like re-up.
Yeah.
So I was like half remembering stuff. I was like, oh, I think we can do this. I think this works. And then like, yeah, we were just sort of fumbling our way through all these encounters. I need to leave. They keep starting the encounter again while I'm chatting to you guys.
There's a Destiny 1.
There was. It was only on.
I think I played it on PS3.
Like, what was it on? Yeah, it was on everything, wasn't it? It was like Xbox and PS3
I
and
can't wait
everything.
till they release Destiny 0.5.
Yeah.
Exclusive to the Game Boy.
Just remake it.
Is that where you're jumping on?
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I've jumped on. I've started it. I did some stuff, and I was like, I could rush and do all this Destiny raid and get ready for a raid for a game that I've never played before, or I could just not.
I was looking at Destiny 2 the other day, and I booted it up, and I was like, if it's that easy to get gear, I want to make a new character.
Yeah.
So I had 2 characters already, which I think were like the Space Wizard and Tank Man. And I was like, I'll make an assassin. So I did that. I did the tutorial, and then it played a random cutscene and sent me somewhere. And I have no clue what was going on, right? So I was like, okay, I'll just roll with it, like, fuck it. And I did that, and I played that for like an hour and a half, and I didn't finish it. So I was like, oh, it kind of sucks, I guess, that it's not going to save my progress, but it's fine. I'll give it another attempt another day. So I turned it off. And then I thought, oh, hang on, maybe it does save like progress halfway through. Maybe I'll jump back into where I was. So I booted the game up again out of curiosity, and it booted a different cutscene and put me somewhere, again, completely different. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
It feels like, because I had the same kind of thing with Aaron, it feels like you jump into the middle of an MMO where like you're not max level, but you're not doing the tutorial. You're sort of like, if this was WoW, you're like mid-30s or something, and it's like you've already got a full quest log and you've got half your abilities and stuff like that, and people are all trying to get your attention, and it never explains any of it. And then like the story is already in progress and you don't really know what's going on there, and it's I don't know. And it's such a shame because playing this raid again, I was like, holy shit, I missed this. This was so much fun figuring out these raids and these mechanics as like, and then like executing this like series of tasks where you all have your own like individual job. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
It was just so bizarre because it was literally like, I think we spoke about it before. Like, I don't care about Destiny's story, right? It's like a function to support shooting aliens for loot. But it was literally like, I did a tutorial, and it's like, here's how you shoot. Here, have an assault rifle. Oh, isn't that fun? And then I think a cutscene loaded, and it was like, remember Mars is missing? And I was like, no. And they were like, well, it's back. And I was like, okay. Like, what's going on? That is fucking weird, man. There's no like sweet, slow intro into this game. Yeah. It feels like it's like
it's awful.
Yeah, it's like you're late to the party and we know it, so we are going to chuck you in head first because fuck you.
Yeah, because either you'll sink and you'll just uninstall in the next 20 minutes, or you'll be like, I like this, and then you like, we've got you already. You know, it's like
go straight into all the paid content.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
but nah, it's such a shame. It just needs some better. Yeah, like you said, it just needs better onboarding, man. It's so bad, and like its pricing structure is so arcane. I was trying to figure out like if we want to do this raid, because it's all free at the moment this week,
Yeah.
but I think it won't be free by the time this podcast goes up. So everything is free. So there's like, everyone was like, all right, let's do a raid. And I was like, okay, there's like 7 we can do. But if we start one and don't finish it, by this time next week, we won't be able to do it again because it'll be paid for
quid.
Unless everybody drops 20 quid for this specific expansion. So I was like, okay, which ones are free? And it's like, hey, if you buy this, you get this and this. This one will be free. And I was like, oh my God, this is so needlessly complicated. It's ridiculous. They need to do a WoW and just say everything previous is now free. Just buy the latest thing and you get everything. Like that's all it should be.
Is this your game of the week?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, welcome to the Game FourCast, everybody. Weekly game podcast, etc. My name's Josh, aka BottlerWorks. I'm here with Olive Meister Will.
Hello, my name is Oh, Jesus.
Quikwix Steve.
Oh my God, congratulations. In your gacha, you've pulled a 5-star super secret rare summer swimsuit Steve. No refunds available at this time.
And Sammeh.
I was really banking on that refund. God damn it.
Yeah.
Too bad, you're stuck with me.
I hope you've all played some cool games this week. What have you played, Will?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Josh. So I've been jumping into a little indie game called Destiny 2.
Oh, sick.
Never heard of it.
I don't know. It's this week Bungie did their big reveal event for the next step, I guess, if you want to be grandiose like they are, of Destiny. And they've announced their big new expansion, which is coming early next year, called Lightfall.
It looks so cool. I'm not massively into Destiny, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, so it's like this whole Destiny story has been building to this like light versus dark kind of epic saga that they're trying to work their way into. So when they announced ages ago this expansion was going to be called Lightfall, which sort of brings to mind like a grim, we've lost kind of like Empire Strikes Back sort of midpoint in the story. And then they showed off this trailer for what they've been working on, and it was this weird like cyberpunk-esque like neon colored show where everyone has grappling hooks and they're flying around, and it looked badass. Like it looked awesome, and I was like, okay. And then they said this is to celebrate, this week all of Destiny is free. You don't have to pay for any of the expansions or anything to do anything. So I've jumped in and played the last newest expansion, which is called The Witch Queen. And it's really good. They've always, Destiny campaigns have always struggled with this thing where they're just sort of there. They're not difficult, and the like rewards aren't very good. So they've always been kind of like just get through this, and then you can play end game, right? Which is what everyone does. Yeah, it's like it's the leveling process in WoW or whatever, where it's just you play through it once, you don't really care about it. You're just finding the most efficient way to get to max level, essentially. But this one, they've introduced a legendary mode, which is like basically the same campaign, but just a hard mode. Yeah, and I've been playing that, and it's really good. It reminds me of like, not Destiny. Bungie does know how to make like fun shooter levels, from Halo. They know how to do that. So this one has been an awful lot of fun.
I did a little bit of legendary mode. I touched a little bit of it, and I'm not sure if because again I was coming off of like a really fresh level 1 character, everything felt really bullet spongy. I'm not sure if it was just like, I didn't feel like it was challenging because I had to maneuver a lot. I just felt like I have to shoot everything.
It shouldn't feel like that. Apart from like you just have to match. You'll be like, okay, this guy has a solar shield, so I need a solar weapon. Because they match, it pops and it's way easier. But it's been good fun. I still don't really know what's going on. There's a big evil floating wizard called Savathun that everybody's really down about, and they want you to deal with. But the story of Destiny is so impenetrable, and I was keeping up for it with a while.
I remember in I think it was Destiny 1, where if you wanted to know more about the story, you had to go on like I think their website and look at PNG cards. It was so weird.
I hate that. Why can't games put their story in the game?
No, they realized very quickly that they had fucked up, and they were
Destiny 1. The problem was they rewrote the entire story about like 6 months before release or something,
yeah.
and then just reorganized everything in a kind of so it loosely made sense, but didn't. You couldn't really tell what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think Destiny's still just so much fun to play. I just think everything around it they need to sort out. Like the pricing makes perfect sense if you are a Destiny player. Like they ask, 20 quid from you every 6 months or so, which is
that's fine
really,
if you're in. Like
then you'll be like, okay, come play Destiny with me, and someone will be like, okay, what do I need to get to play Destiny? And it's like, about £100 worth of DLC, or on plus an £80 pre-order for the new DLC that's coming out in February, and it's like that just seems like insanity to everyone on the outside.
I'm on the page right now. It says play Destiny 2 free to play, and you've got purchasing for Lightfall, which I assume is just a pre-order.
That's a pre-order. Yep.
And then there's the Witch Queen.
That's the current expansion that I'm playing right now. Yep.
And then you scroll down, and there's just a whole bunch of content, and it's like there's 2 versions of Lightfall, Witch Queen, Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, Forsaken Pack.
Yeah, you need all that. Well, it's like you don't need all of that, but because I think even with all of that, you still wouldn't really understand the story.
Yeah.
With all of that, so they've spoken a big game about just buy what you want, right? Buy what you want to play, but that just sort of means that you'll always be, if say you're in a group of people and it's like, okay, who has this expansion? Who has this expansion? Are we going to do this raid?
I haven't got that one. Sorry.
Expansion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like
it's funny as well. Like looking through all these, it's like the Witch Queen mostly very positive reviews, and you go to like Shadowkeep, and it's like mostly negative. and this one's mixed, and this one's okay, I guess.
Yeah, they should do what a lot of MMOs do now is like the current expansion is paid, the upcoming one is paid. All the previous ones come under like one bundle of previous expansions, like 10 quid.
Yeah. And to be fair, I think there are, like, depending on where you go, I think there are keys out there that are like, this will catch you up sort of thing, you know? But it's like, but Steam doesn't do it, and you have to go to like Kinguin or something.
Yeah, like a grey market.
A grey market. Yeah. But yeah, holy shit, that raid is so much fun. It's so much fun.
So you're trying to get through as many as possible before it all goes back to not being free.
No, I there's 2 that are currently free, and they're both remakes. I think there's 3, 2 or 3 that are currently free for anyone, and we're just going to try and get through those because what I don't want to do is like start everyone on a raid and then be like, all right, well, we're out. We ran out of time. Like,
it's of my understanding that there's 5 expansions, but 2 of them have been vaulted, and you can't play those ones anymore.
Yes,
like Osiris and something else.
Well, all of Destiny 2 base game is it's not all gone. It's mostly gone.
Yeah.
The campaign you can't play anymore. Base Destiny 2. A couple of the expansions are now removed. Right? Vaulted, as it were. But they've said they're not doing that anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, because they had the big Destiny 2 thing before Gamescom, right, where they announced like, we're not vaulting any more content, which is like, duh. Of course, you shouldn't remove your content.
Yeah. But okay. This is maybe this is controversial. I don't know. The reasons they gave for vaulting made sense to me as an MMO. Like, as long as they talk, they said no one does this stuff, so there's no point in us, keeping it around. It's just taking up space on people's hard drives. When instead, what we could do is take it out of the game, replace it with brand new stuff, and then bring the old stuff back later as like refreshed and stuff that people want to do again.
So have they done that yet? That's my question.
They've taken Destiny 2 stuff out and replaced it with free stuff from Destiny 1.
Right.
But it's kind of messy. But also I can see, people paid for these bits of content and you can no longer access them. And they were crap, but they,
My counterpoint would always be that it should be programmed in a way where, as opposed to you download 100, or say the game's it's like 90 gig as it is right now. Say all the old stuff is like 150 gig. That's a game should not be that size. It should be like Destiny 2 is 20 gig, and you can do a bunch of stuff in that 20 gig. And as you go to different places, it's like, you want to go here? Okay, download like 15
Well, it's like
gig.
streaming the stuff to you.
Yeah.
I could see it. I see both sides. I feel like they talked a big game about refreshing content and bringing it back, and they haven't really.
I was gonna say they should have like been like, before they even announced it, they should have been, we've been working on refreshing one of our older pieces of content. This is kind of the stuff we're gonna do. Then take some stuff down. Like, give people a sign of good faith that like, we are actually gonna refresh it. This is the sort of like amount of rework that we're going to do to the content, and then people would have been happy. But just taking stuff away and going like, we might do that stuff, but,
exactly. That's the problem was with the wording.
We'll definitely give it back later.
It's like your friend that borrows your like your copy of GTA, and he's like, no, I'll totally give it back later, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, man.
I bet.
Thanks for letting me borrow your copy of Metal Gear Solid, and then the disc is just scratched to fuck. It's like,
yeah.
Been there.
Thanks, fictional cousin that really doesn't exist.
But they're kind of doing what I've always wanted, which is all I want from Destiny is I want to boot it up. I want all of the raids to be a list on the side, and I just pick one of those, get all my friends in and play. That's all I want. The campaign is good. This one's better than they've been in the past, but it's still not. I don't know any of the story or context, so nothing carries any weight, sort of thing. But it's fun enough. But I just want them to be like, give me 20 quid and you can just play Destiny.
I was about to say, like, the fact that Destiny's of the size that it is and has the amount of content that it does, do you think they'd actually benefit from looking at like the World of Warcraft model, where it's like, pay for the Witch Queen, the newest expansion, for 20 quid, whatever, but just like there's a sub, it's like £8 a month, and then you get everything.
I think they'll see to what this like free weekend has done for the game, because they had like the big Destiny 2 like presentation before Gamescom, and then now it's all free. So probably a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'll try it." There's not much on this week, so if they're getting much reception from it, people might buy stuff. But if they have seen that people aren't buying stuff, maybe they'll be like, okay, maybe we'll change.
Yeah, this game's about to hit a point where when this podcast actually goes live on Tuesday, which is the 30th, all the content that people are currently playing goes back behind a paywall, and people will be possibly halfway through content they're enjoying and then be hit with literally like 4 or 5 different individual paywalls.
Yeah. And it's divided up in such a way that it isn't always necessarily clear what is from what, you know? Like most of the time it will be like, okay, the moon, everything on the moon, that is a bit of DLC you have to buy, and that's all contained. But then sometimes it will just be like, oh, you'll be hovering a menu or something, and it'll be like, oh, you don't have this, you fucking idiot. You need to buy this expansion. It's like, oh, okay, okay. I guess I don't have that. Fair enough.
It's like I've got this like scenario, or it might not even like be this way, but like Tuesday rolls around, it all goes behind its paywall, and I look at my quest log, and it's just like 2 of the quests require this expansion. One of them that I picked up over here requires this one, and I just look at
that
and go,
is
like,
exactly it.
I don't really care anymore if you're gonna suddenly put it behind a whole bunch of paywalls.
You might be working your way towards like an exotic, cool looking weapon, and then it's just like, nah, it's like, can't have that.
But on the flip side, it being like, the free session is over, and you want to carry on playing everything you were doing, drop 8 quid, drop 9 quid, and you can just get back to what you were doing.
The only exception is that would be like, it's understandable for Witch Queen content, where that is the current content, that it'd be like, oh yeah, you're halfway through that, now pay for the actual expansion, because that's still current content. It feels bad when it's like older content though,
Yeah, I think that's what they just need. Like, I mean, the biggest problem with Destiny is it markets itself as a free to play game, but it's really not.
It's not.
You can't really do anything in that game for free.
And imagine they give you just enough to get you in to let you taste it, and then start asking for
pretty much. Yeah, almost, it's like hard stops at certain points, and it's like it might give you a little bit to play around in. I think you can visit most of just the areas and just wander around and not really do anything.
It does.
But yeah, they just need to put their money where their mouth is and make the free-to-play offering enticing enough that people want to jump in and spend more money.
Yeah, it feels like if you were to play something like World of Warcraft, but you can't go back to a Warlords of Draenor area, which is completely dead content, but just because you haven't paid for it. It's like, just give it to people if it's dead content anyway.
Yeah.
Have people buy the newest expansion and then go from there. But
yeah, it's ludicrous that they still want, and it's almost mostly pennies at this point. Like, I think they charge like £8 or £9 for some of the old expansions, you know, but it's still like, that's enough where some people are going to be like, no, fuck that, no way.
But isn't there £8 or £9 multiple times though, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah.
One of our friends downloaded it, then went to do content that he had bought. He had bought the Forsaken DLC.
Yeah.
And that just now isn't in the game. You can't go and do it.
But he bought dead content.
Yeah,
I don't think
you can still buy it.
Really?
You can still buy Forsaken. You can still buy Shadowkeep.
Hang on a minute, I'm on the page right now. Yeah, you can buy Forsaken Pack.
Forsaken Pack. I imagine
that's guns. That's guns. That's for sure.
Right.
Skins.
Yeah.
But again, this is DLC he had bought previously.
Oh, yeah,
I remember seeing it there.
Oh, right.
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
talking about.
That's been vaulted.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I bought all this DLC before. I guess I'm playing Destiny 2 now. I'm a returning player. I'll go and do that content I bought and never finished. And I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
literally
he
gone.
uninstalled it immediately.
It has been cataclysmed. It is.
Yes, kind of. Yeah.
It is gone.
When are they doing Destiny Classic?
They're putting all that stuff in Destiny 2. So kind of right now, like, we're playing a Destiny 1 raid, or we were right before we got here. So
okay,
all that stuff is coming back slowly. But
you got any closing comments before I push this along?
Destiny 2 is a fantastic game. Just everything else around it is so impenetrable that it's it's like robbed of being a top game of all time, and it's doing really well. So like, all these complaints are regardless of the just problems that I have.
How much?
Apparently, most people are fine.
How much did Sony pay for Bungie again?
3 billion, 6 billion.
Because that was Sony buys Bungie, but that was basically Sony buys Destiny.
Yeah. $3.6 billion.
$3.6 billion. So that's how you can literally put a pin in how much Destiny's worth, because that's basically it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sony bought them, so they should be just giving us the content now. They've just made 3.6 billion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just got dumped 3.6 billion. Yeah. Just
CEO needs a new yacht. It's fine. All right, let's go on from that then. So what have you been playing this week, Sam?
I don't have a lot to contribute.
That's fine.
I have been grinding the World of Warcraft, and I'm still loving it.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those situations where I'm leveling with a friend. So there's two of us. I'm not doing it solo, but I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, today, we have done very long sessions, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And
I'm not tired of it in the slightest.
That's good.
Did you get your character in the end?
Yes, my character has finally arrived from the void, from limbo.
Off the ferry.
The best thing about that as well is, the worst thing is, before we stopped playing previously, I had just spent all my money to craft, because I was a leather worker and I maxed out. I crafted 3 bits of gear that were my best in slot at the time, and it cost me 2,000 in-game gold to buy all the materials. And then the next day we stopped playing. So I logged in and only had 100 gold and was like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah, where's all my money? It's pretty funny. It's all in worthless mats.
Because it put me on a dead server, but we're moving to a full server. The new character I made was on the full server, so I looked at the auction house, looked at the prices for things, and just bought on the dead server stuff really cheaply.
Oh, hell yeah.
Transferred. And then I made like 500 gold profit.
Oh, nice.
So that was nice.
You're literally a smuggler.
Interdimensional traveler ruins local economy.
I got all this black market spell weave. You want some?
But yes, I mean that's fun, and I'm ready. And that starts Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, just because that should be when the people that are going to play are going to resub Wednesday, because when the pre-patch hits, so we'll actually see some people doing some stuff.
It's crazy that it's that
Hopefully do
close.
some content.
It's really like snuck up, I feel.
But
And-
the only other thing I've done is today. Well, recently, this is a me and Steve thing. We our friend group has done a Pokemon draft thing.
Oh yeah.
Pokemon
Like a
Showdown.
tournament.
So you draft like 3 Pokemon from each different like competitive tier to build a team of 12 Pokemon, and then you get paired up against someone. You pick 6 of your 12 to build a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is all browser based, all free to play.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon allows it because everyone uses Pokemon Showdown. Every competitive player uses
Yeah,
Pokemon
it's just
Showdown.
so nice. And my first round pairing was against Steve, and we played our game today, and he clapped me.
You're absolutely clapped. Oh, tell me there's a video
Look, like,
somewhere.
It wasn't like it's not like I got completely clapped and destroyed,
Yeah.
right? But it was the situation where maybe I needed like 2 moves to go differently, and then I could have been like, oh, I could have won that. But realistically, and in the situation of where I lost, like 1 turn going better for me wasn't enough to overcome the difference.
Yeah.
So like it was a close game, but I was not in control and Steve was in control.
Who was the MVP?
Oh, my Celesteela for sure.
Oh, I don't know why I asked.
Yeah, I don't know
what that
who
is.
what that is, yeah.
I was
Ultra
really
Beast.
hoping you'd
You
say
never stood a
Pikachu.
chance. Jigglypuff.
Sorry, I mean Quagsire.
So yeah, I put it down to on the 2nd turn of combat, I made a prediction, which didn't pay off, and then Steve just turns around and goes, "Oh well, yeah, well this Pokemon doesn't really mean anything now, so I just let it die." And I was like, I wasn't expecting this. So I made a prediction, and my Pokemon lost like half its life for no reason when it didn't need to.
I've seen
But
quite a
yeah,
few
it's-
YouTube videos of Pokemon Showdown. I think a lot of those videos were ruined for me when I found out. I think a lot of them are fake. But
Well, no, there's a very popular one of there's a very popular YouTuber who does like, oh, my team of baby Pokemon beat this team of legendaries, and that is all fake. It's
Yeah.
very obviously fake. It's like they rage at me because of this, and it's like they're all fake. But there is
Oh,
a
really?
big-
Because I
Yeah.
keep getting recommended those.
yeah, it's because they're so clickbaity. It's complete
Yeah.
clickbait, and it's obviously fake. There's no that does not happen in Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah.
Very rarely do people actually type at you. There is a big community of people who do play Pokemon who put out like decent quality videos, but
Had
those
some
aren't
people type
clickbaity.
at me.
yeah.
Oh well, occasionally you do, but you're not getting people like
I've had some people. So
Yeah.
to back up what I've been doing, we drafted Friday.
Yeah.
In between Friday and today, where we played our game, I've probably played about 50 to 60 online Pokemon Showdown matches.
Oh,
Holy
damn.
shit.
You're in.
Because they're very quick. Like
Yes.
the match is over in like 5 minutes. Is a long match, and I mean long.
Yeah.
So you can just crack them out.
And my ones that I was doing on like the actual Sword and Shield were taking probably around like 14 to 20 minutes, and they weren't particularly long matches either. So
Yeah.
it is a big
I've-
difference.
I've been having fun doing that, but yeah, you get some. You do some like things where like, oh, this has a 10% chance of freezing your enemy, and you know maybe I hit a guy with 3 of those in a row and got the 10% chances in a row, and maybe they feel
Yeah.
like they've got to say something, you know. But then I had another guy that crit me back to back, and I'm like, that's a 1 in 16 chance, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Are there not like competitive rule sets yet where you like no crits and no misses and stuff?
There's competitive rule sets, but they're clauses. So
Yeah.
Right.
the percent chances and all of that and the crits are still in the game. The competitive rule set is like you can't sleep more than 1 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like you
Okay.
can't use moves to increase randomness. Like you can't
Yeah.
use moves to increase evasion and stuff like that.
And reduce evasion.
Okay.
like we're playing with, you can only have one item. Well, you can only have one item on a Pokemon, but the items we use on our 6 Pokemon must be unique.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you can't just be like 6 leftovers and be like, oh my guy's heal.
It seems fun, but originally I would have thought like, oh, I can't be bothered. Like Pokemon is too simple. And then I watched some of Steve playing, and I was like, oh no, Pokemon is way too complicated.
Yeah, it's like it always felt like to me like you want to get into it, you got to learn like just so much stuff just up front, and but there's no like official, at least in the actual games, there's no like proper ranked mode with tiers and stuff. At least I don't think
there is now.
There is now. Okay.
Yes.
Because it used to always just be like, here's Pokemon online, play against other people. Just there ranks and stuff? Who cares? Just play against an opponent. It's like I don't know what's going on.
there is ranks stuff, and it really isn't too bad. For Scarlet and Violet, I do plan to make a video series on like getting into competitive. It's not that bad at all, and it's like it's actually a lot of fun. Especially like it's strategy and prediction, which is a really anyone can do that. So
see that's the other layer is, like I said, it failed for me, but there's the prediction layer of like, if I think he's going to do this, so I pick this move, I suddenly shoot up in like percentage chance to win because I've just predicted it. But so one of the Pokemon that Steve was using, he said it's Celesteela. I come across it so often, right? And no one used the move Flamethrower, and then Steve Flamethrowers my guy and kills me, and I'm like, no one's used that on me. And then one of the people watching just goes, it's like one of its most common moves, and
that was me who
what?
said that.
What the fuck? Like, is this an Ultra Beast?
Yes, it is an Ultra Beast.
Yeah. My mindset is like, does this Pokemon look fucking stupid? Yeah, it's an Ultra Beast.
Some of those are fan art variations, but
it's like I fought against this thing nearly like 25, 30 times, and no one has used this move, so I just wasn't expecting it. But I had so much experience against it that I was confident, and I was falsely confident.
For anyone that is listening and can't see, there's a fucking absolutely jacked Celesteela on the screen right now.
With the biggest booba you've ever seen.
It's so fetishized. It's great.
Yeah, it's really fun. Just queuing up and just being like, okay, I somewhat understand what my Pokemon do.
Yeah.
And then the first few games, like crushing my head against all the very popular Pokemon. And then you just like, oh, I faced that dog thing before. It does this, or it can do that. And then you just slowly be like, oh, I've seen that thing before. And that's where I'm looking forward to once our league is ended. And then if we do another one and it's with the same people, the rankings should shift drastically, because I feel like some people are going to get more into it, some people not so much. Some people are going to go hard. Everyone's just going to have a bit more knowledge, so we're all going to draft differently.
Oh, just to like heads up, I didn't go hard for this. Because I was like, I'm probably the most experienced, so I just went like, I'll pick that one, I'll pick that one, I'll pick that one, randomly.
Oh, so you clapped him without even trying? That's cool.
So he's got an incredibly well-rounded team as it is. So it's, while he might be like, oh, I didn't go hard, it's like the subconscious knowledge. Like he's not going to pick bad Pokemon on purpose. So he's subconsciously going, oh, I don't have this type, oh, I don't have this coverage, because he has that knowledge.
Yeah, just the passive knowledge.
Whether he knows about, he thinks he's doing it or not. It's like when you do a Hadouken. You don't think to do the motion when you need to spam out 4 Hadoukens in a row.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, but I don't. That's what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Once you get to that level, you know.
I get what you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also had to do 2 other people's drafts as well for them because they didn't show up. So I was like, I had to make 3 teams.
Oh, you love it though, really?
I do. I love that shit so much.
That's cool though. I'm looking forward to. I hope like Scarlet and Violet has. I just want like bronze, silver, gold ranks. Just something that I can go like, okay, I'll have a look at this. Why not?
Here's my issue with it in main series games. It's so hard to get the Pokemon to level up the stats, whereas in the browser version, it's just you say what stats it has. Yeah, it has those stats.
It's really not that bad in Sword and Shield. It's it's still it's more work than Showdown, but it's really not that bad. So that's why I said I'm going to do a series on how to get competitive Pokemon, because it's very accessible now compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, so if I have like no aspirations of climbing out of, say, a fictional Pokemon Bronze League, I don't technically need to worry about doing EVs and IVs and this, that, and the other, because I just want to play against other Bronzies that are just booting up competitive Pokemon, right?
Yeah. Well, you mean EVs and IVs, again, they're so easy to just do now.
Oh, yeah, I'm really out of date with all Pokemon knowledge, as you can probably tell.
Yeah. Yeah, but it should be fun. Like the Sword and Shield, for all its flaws, it got the competitive aspect of the game right. So I expect it to carry on in Scarlet and Violet.
You got any closing comments on Pokemon Showdown, or shall we move on to someone else?
Oh, I think we can move on. It's really fun. I'm glad I'm into it, and I hope, again, because I'm in a league for it, I'm so much more invested.
Yeah,
I've realised how much I just love leagues, because they just get you in.
League
I'm in a
Legends.
football league. I'm in a thingy league. Pokemon. Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit.
Okay, cool. I know, Steve, you told me earlier about what you've been playing. But what have you been doing this week?
Well, I want to touch on. I played Splatoon 3, the demo of the Splatfest.
I've heard mixed things.
That game is exactly the same as Splatoon 1 and 2. It's the new additions of the bow and the katana weapon are okay. Nothing super special.
Yeah.
It all feels the same. There's some weapon balance. Still feels the same.
Is it kind of like, what have they been doing kind of
well,
feeling?
no, because there's still like, it's a lot new. Like there's new maps and stuff, and like the new town area is new. There's a lot of it is new, but it's just all the same style, so it all feels like you could mistake it for.
I'm just praying that it's got a really banging single player. I think like Splatoon has slowly transitioned from this game that's like had a tiny / non-existent single player to a its focus was multiplayer, to almost like kind of spinning around now, where it's like they sussed out the multiplayer like one game in, and now they're just slowly making more elaborate single player content and like PvE content.
Well, for the Splatfest as well, it was 3 teams, because in this game there's going to be 3 choices of what team you pick, and the 4v4 mode, where this bog standard felt fine. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But there's a new mode. Well, there's a new thing where if your team is doing the best, it will put you as a 4 when you match up versus 2 of I was Team Scissors, which was Team Red. We were against 4 reds versus 2 yellows and 2 blues, and that mode felt terrible.
I heard that Scissors got absolutely slapped. Is that true?
Yeah, because you've got the blue and the yellow both have like a whole section aside which they can paint, which no other team can touch. So like they come with an advantage. Like they have like solid sections which is like, you can't really get to it, so you can't paint it. And then it's just them fighting over this mechanic in the middle where there's like, if they stand there for long enough, they get like rain, which like is like permanent, like ink on the ground, which is another pain. And like the job of the 4 is to kind of keep them away, but it never felt good.
Wait, so it's 4v2v2?
Yes, but if you're the winning team in Splatfest.
I thought you just meant they teamed up, so it was equal teams. Oh, that's really stupid. What the hell?
And it's you'd think the 4 has the advantage, but no, because you're like sandwiched in the middle between the 2 teams who are gunning for that middle spot, and it's like if they're doing well, you cannot escape.
Yeah,
is it like I know it's like new, but do you reckon it would just be like the meme game mode that's done a little bit for Splatfest, and everyone just goes back to ranked like they always do?
This is the thing: is for Splatfest, it's not. They made it sound like it was going to be you'll do like the 4v4, and then if you win, you'll go into this new mode. But it's just randomly as you queue up, you might get put into this 4v2v2 mode, and it kind of sucks.
Because I remember like Splatoon 2, I think was the one I played a whole bunch of. It had the normal like turf war modes and this, that, and the other, but like people that played it a lot, you didn't really play turf war. You played like the whole King of the Hill and like proper ranked third person shooter modes, not the weird meme mode that the game's based around.
Yeah.
played like proper King of the Hill or Team Deathmatch or this, that, and the other. So
I remember that. Well, I assume those are coming back, but what this demo, this of Splatfest demo, secured in my mind was I'm not going to buy this game. It's a fun game still, don't get me wrong, but I've played it in Splatoon 1 and 2. It's 50 quid for a game that's usually only good for like the first couple of weeks and then you forget about it. So I'm like, I'll skip it this time.
Yeah, I played Splatoon 2 to death. Like I played that game so much. And if it's literally the same, I might get like a kind of nostalgia kick out of it, but I can't see myself getting really into Splatoon again.
Yeah. I mean, like Splatoon 2 was also on the Switch. So it
was like a pseudo launch game, wasn't it? It was very soon after.
It was like like a month or so after.
Yeah, it was really early. It was probably going to be a Wii U game at some point, and they just moved it to the Switch, like they did with most stuff.
But other than Splatoon, I actually yesterday got myself a proper mobile phone. So
Finally.
I've been playing Pokemon Go and Pokemon Masters. And I mean, everyone knows about those games, but I wanted to ask: are there any mobile games that you guys would recommend?
Bloons Tower Defense.
Bloons Tower Defense, isn't that on PC?
It is, but it's a good little game on mobile. It's the same game, but you can like
Into the Breach.
Into the Breach.
Isn't that on PC? Is there any mobile exclusive games that you're like, oh, this is a mobile game?
Well, you asked that, and I was thinking about it, and I don't think I actually know any.
No, I don't either.
The one I was tempted by was that Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale, and I'm like, it's probably not going to go well on my phone. Like, my phone's a cheap phone; it's not a powerhouse. But I'm like, I could try that game now, see if that's any good. But I was just wondering if there's any other games that like people have played on mobile that like, oh, I got really invested in this for a bit. Or
right, looking at my phone now,
it was Bloons TD.
Yeah, it's got to be Bloons.
Bloons TD Battles and Bloons TD5 for me.
On my phone right now, I have Bloons Tower Defense. I have Legends of Runeterra. That's just good enough.
That's Legends of Runeterra. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that's permanently installed in mine.
Old school RuneScape. I have on now. Pokemon Unite. I have installed.
I mean, let's be real. The answer is none of them. If you're comparing it to PC games, there's no point. There's nothing you can play on your phone that you can't find better on PC.
Other than Pokemon Go, because that game is very social for me. Like I was like, I get to play with friends and have stuff, and encourage you to go to the Pokestops because I've already ran out of Pokeballs.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, I just wanted to know if there was any games that were potentially worth looking at. But it sounds like all the games that you've said are all on PC.
In all honesty, most mobile games are garbage. It's just like that's just how it is. Unless you play a really specific like genre, like if you like certain like strategy gacha games or something, there's tons of those.
I could play that Disney game that was like anime boys. All the characters are anime boys now.
Yeah, you could play that. That definitely sounds worth your time.
That. Yeah. The world. If anyone's got any suggestions, leave them in the comments or DM me. You know where I am.
Leave them in the comments.
The problem is any mobile game good enough that people really click with gets a PC release.
Yeah,
and the rest is gacha garbage.
Yeah, it's like the whole point of a mobile game is you're supposed to be able to play it on the go because you can't be at a laptop or a PC. But in reality, because of that, they're never going to compare.
Yeah, it's your way. It's a good way to get your Genshin dailies done if you're busy doing something else, or like.
Oh, I don't have a phone powerful enough for Genshin. There's no way.
Or like that, or it's like you're on the John and you want to do a little bit of RuneScape mining. Now you can. Actually,
I could probably try that League of Legends Wild Rift. I've heard good things.
That's supposed to be, that's supposedly somewhat built for mobile, right? It's got its own servers, its own controls and everything.
I'm surprised it's not on Switch or console yet.
That'd be a good one to put on Switch, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing this week. What about you, Josh?
I have finally jumped into Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or Horizon Forbidden West, I should say. After it got completely dunked by
I'm so glad.
Elden Ring.
So glad.
Yeah. Let me just find a picture for it. I just had an itch for it, right? I felt like, okay, it feels right, There's not a lot coming out that I'm interested in. now I can give it a proper good look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a lot of fun. It's really good. It's really good. It's like, so I've probably put about 8 hours in so far, so I'm still really fresh in terms of like games of this length, right? I've done the tutorial, which is like a linear section, and it is open world, but you know, the first area it drops you in is like, it's open world, but this bit's still kind of not. It's still like a enclosed bit. So
you're in the paddling pool.
Basically, yeah, because you start. They keep talking about the West, and it's like, oh, they literally say like Forbidden West like 50 times. It's like, oh, the West is forbidden. You can't go there, blah, blah, blah. And then the game kind of opens up when you can go west. Like the gates open, you go into this whole new area, and that's kind of where I am now. And I think for the most part that I played so far, it was pretty similar to the first game, and. I'm not ready to like go full spoilery yet, but it's just started doing story bits that are like, whoa, okay. This isn't just like the same similar story again. It's like they're doing some weird shit with it, which is really good. It's exciting. But yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like I'm almost like tainted by time, right? When I'm playing it and I'm like, is this just like the first game again? Whereas I feel like if I went back and played the first game, this is probably miles better, right? But it just like, you know, like nostalgia. Even though the first game's not old, it feels almost like nostalgia. Like, oh, the first game did a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very. I haven't played like a open world game like this in a while. You know, with like bits on the map, question marks, what's over here, something weird, collectible here, tower over here to pick up this thing. And it's kind of like. It's slowly sucking me in. I can feel myself like getting drawn in. But I'm finding. I'm getting. I need to do the story for a bit because I'm getting horrifically overleveled doing all the side stuff.
Is Lance Reddick still in this?
Oh, he's so good. He's so he is. He's so good. Because he's got some like again, I'm not very far in, but he's got some like weird agenda where he's like, is he good?
He always
is
does.
He bad? You don't know. And Aloy's like, oh, you motherfucker, why are you doing this? And he's like, Aloy, I'm trying to help you. doing his like amazing voice.
Yeah.
It's like, is he good? Is he bad? It's not entirely sure.
Have they expanded the sort of RPG stuff in this one? Because the stuff I remember from the first one was like there was a lot of like stats, but you didn't really have to pay attention to any of them.
So I'm playing on I was gonna say hard mode, but there's like 6 or 7 difficulties.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, there's tons, and I think I'm playing on like 1 or 2 difficulties above normal. So I'm playing on a harder mode, and I die in like 2 hits. So you have to like do proper dodges in that. But the reason I'm going on about that is because as you change, you can get like different bows and stuff. But say you have like a normal basic bow and arrow, right? You can have one version of it that does normal arrows and say acid arrows, and another version of it that does normal arrows and fire arrows, or like ice arrows. And because the fights I'm doing are quite tricky, there's lots of like stat balancing in that. Okay, what am I fighting next? You scan the monster, it's got like big acid packs on its back, so if you use acid arrows, it makes them explode and things like that. And I feel like a lot of that stuff you might miss if you play on an easier difficulty.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to sort of look at what you're fighting. How can you get a tactical edge? I think if you go out of your way, you can clear a fight quite easy by just running up, slashing it a few times and running away. But if you play the game and give it the time of day and lay traps down and plan to do things tactically, you can have a lot more fun with it, which is really good. So I'm trying to play it like that way.
There's
really
that
cool.
I had the same thing in the first one where like I picked one of the easier difficulties, I think, and I ended up like spoiling it for myself because it's like you can do all this stuff and I'm like, well, I just shoot it 3 times and dies.
Exactly. Why I could set down all these traps and lure it in and then throw like an ice bomb at it to stun it and then do a critical hit, or I could just like heavy attack it 3 times and kill it.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of like stat building in that regard, and it's like picking and changing your loadout. You can change your bow and arrows and stuff on the fly as long as you've got them sort of on you, which you normally do. So that's pretty cool. You can like mix it up really quickly. In terms of like new stuff, I've seen quite a lot of new robot creatures that are really cool. There's ones that I can just describe as like robot kangaroos that just like jump around and kick you and shit. That's really funny. The game opens to like a massive robot snake, which is like, it's like a little boss fight, but you know that's going to be just like a thing that's creeping around in the late game areas.
Yeah.
Just big
yeah,
robo snake.
yeah. Just gonna be hanging out.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, this is just a monster now. But yeah, it's really fun. And like I said, I feel like I've definitely only just scratched the surface. There's so much here. It's like you have a bestiary showing all the monsters in the game, and I've seen like 7, and there's like 100+ question marks of like weird monsters, and I'm like, that's
how many Pokemon have you caught?
Or literally, it's like there's so many, and I thought that was crazy, and then if you go on the ones that I've already seen, there's like question mark variants of them. So there's like just this monster, but now it's got like an acid variant or like an ice variant, and it acts differently and looks different. And I think one of the base monsters that I've seen, it's called a Scrounger. It's like a weird little dog thing. It's got like 20 variants that I haven't seen. It's actually insane. It just feels like this game's gonna be ongoing for a while.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just gotten to the bit where I think like the game's story has been like outlined for me. You know, it's like it's kind of, you're just going west to find a smooth talking man. Can't remember his name. Aloy, you need to come west.
Lance Reddick.
But now it's like, oh, okay, clearly I have to go across the Forbidden West and find the 7 MacGuffins kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've just gotten to that bit. So
I wonder if you've gotten, because I have heard some stuff about the story in that game that goes some places.
Yeah, I mean,
some real weird places.
I've just got to a story beat. When I play it a bit more, I'll do like a proper breakdown. But I've just gotten to a story bit that was like, this is okay. We're doing this sort of thing. This is really weird.
Yeah.
I like it. It's really cool, but I didn't expect this at all.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I'm excited to see where it goes. Because the whole game of the first one was like, it was a mystery, right? Like, why are we cavemen against robot dinosaurs?
Yeah, what happened to the planet, basically.
Yeah, and this game just dives head first in saying like, oh yeah, we solved that in the first game. Like, yeah, we're not even gonna like hide it for new players. Like, no, this is why it's Robot Land. So I was waiting for like the hook of like, so what are we chasing?
So what now?
In this one? What now? Yeah, and I think I'm just getting tastes of that, which is really cool. I'm having a blast with this game. So don't know what else to really add at this point. Like I said, I need to stop doing side content because it's really easy to get distracted. You know,
yes.
The side content is great.
Yeah, so... I will say, I don't know if I like Aloy, just straight up. It's just like, I don't remember her...
I got that from the first one. Most of the characters were like, I mean, there's Lance Reddick, obviously.
Yeah.
He's the best. Yeah, I always found Aloy very like, yeah, I don't she almost knows she's a video game protagonist or something.
Yeah,
you know?
it feels like, so this one, from what I've seen so far, it kind of really leans into the fact that she's a loner and a recluse. Yeah, and I'm not sure if they're doing it as like a sort of an arc for her character to at the end and be like, oh, I did need the power of friendship. Like, I don't know if that's coming. But it makes for just some really awkward conversations where some person will be like, oh, Aloy, I haven't seen you in ages. How's it going? And she's like, oh, yeah, you know, just saving the world, yeah. And it's like, just fucking talk like a person for like 5 minutes. These people are like smiling at you and they like you. And it just comes across as really awkward, which again, I think might be deliberate to try and power of friendship her a personality by the end. But I don't remember her doing that in the first game. Maybe she did.
No, I thought that actually sounds more interesting. I thought she was kind of bland in the first one.
Well, so the second game, it repeats the part quite a lot of like, Aloy, we're your friends. Please let us help you. and she's like basically like, go away. I'm doing this on my own. Because I think at the end of the first game, she realizes, spoilers for Horizon 1, she realizes that she's a clone of a scientist from the past, and only she can save the world. And she kind of like leans into that heavily in the second game, where she's just like, well, I don't need your help because only I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, even if you're just going to... like,
she's going to learn power of friendship.
Yeah, it's just like, even if you want to do it, you just stop being a dick, stop being a weirdo.
Yeah.
It's like you can talk to these people. They're like, oh, let us help. You can reply without being like, oh, no, no, I don't think you can help. So only me, only I can do it. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But nothing to say about the gameplay. Gameplay and combat is all solid. Like it's Horizon. It feels good to play. It looks amazing. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. I'll do like, I guess, little updates week on week. One week I'll be like, oh my god, where like crazy shit happens or something.
It's a shame this game didn't come out a year earlier, because it probably would have got Game of the Year if it was like, no offense to like It Takes Two, but Horizon probably. If it wasn't with Elden Ring.
I'm enjoying it more than Elden Ring. Like just what I've played so far. It's like, I think it's like two different games, right? And it's like personal preference. This game, after like playing something like Elden Ring, this game is quite like almost like handholdy to the point of like babying, right? It's like, Elden Ring will tell you nothing, and it's like you just wander around, find stuff, touch of grace, do the all that stuff. Whereas this will be like, you'll go to a generator that has no battery, and Aloy's like, oh, this generator hasn't got a battery, must be one nearby. And then you find it, and she's like, a battery, that can go in that generator back down there. And then you put it in, and she's like, finally found a battery. And it's like, yeah. So depends.
I mean, it's different.
Playing.
It's like
just easy playing.
It is easy,
And that's
what I'm saying.
I feel like that's where we're all
easy.
at the moment. I'm playing Destiny. Sam's playing WoW. It's like we're all just playing comfort stuff.
I'm past the point of needing games to beat me down for me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just want to play a game and then go, 5 hours have passed.
That's what's nice about this. You can boot up this game, and then you'll go to a village, and some guy will be like, oh, Aloy, those kangaroos have beaten up my son. Can you go kill them? And you're like, yep. And you go kill 5 robot kangaroos and get their pouches. It's like, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. It's just easy going. You get a new headpiece for it or something. You level up. You get a new trait. It's just nice. So, okay. Well, that's all I have to say. So we'll move on from that, and we'll start doing some new stuff. We did actually have a question this week, so we can start off with our question that we got. Let's see if I can find. I found this lovely little picture of time for questions.
I like it.
So I did give you a bit of warning about this one. Hopefully you have like an answer. But we got a question from Korn. I hope that's how you pronounce that name. The question specifically was, what pre-order bonus would you put in a game of your choice and why? But it's like, I think it's kind of a good discussion just for pre-order stuff in general.
Yeah.
Because I was
nothing important.
I think that's like the proper answer, right? Is it should never be something overly important.
Yeah, the thing that immediately came to mind for me when you posted that question in the Discord was, did anyone play Dead Space 1, or more importantly, did anyone play Dead Space 1 years later? Because that game bundled in a bunch. The whole point of that game is you start as like an engineer, and then as you work through, you sort of figure out you start getting upgrade stuff, and you start improving your tools to be like more efficient weapons. And by the end of it, you're like a zombie killing machine. You're sort of honed to perfection. But if you got any of the pre-ordered stuff or any of the post-game DLC, which they eventually just bundle in with the game, because it's like, it's fucking old now. You start off the game as a ruthless killing machine, and there's like zero progression. So the game is like easy as shit from the get-go. And it's like a horror game, so
all tension is gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's always, you get that across so many games as well, where it's like you start an RPG and you open your inventory and you've got the big ass dick sword of killing, and it's like it's like infinitely better than anything else you've got, and it's like should I have this? I don't really want this. I was gonna say I make an effort to like deliberately bench or like box those weapons.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the only option you have is to be like, I'm just gonna put this in the bank and choose to pretend I don't own this like game killing sword. Yeah.
I think one of the worst pre-order bonuses I've ever seen was for Elder Scrolls Online, where there were certain classes that were limited to races, but if you pre-ordered, you could pick any class, any race combo, and that seemed a bit game breaking. Oh, it's like, certain races had to start in certain areas, but if you pre-ordered, you basically had free reign, and that seemed so questionable to me, because that almost seemed like player power in a way for an MMO.
How does that? How much does that affect gameplay? Why is that?
I do not know. I didn't play Elder Scrolls Online because of it.
Oh right, it literally threw you off the whole game.
Yeah, because I was like, well, if I want to be like a Khajiit, but I want to start in Morrowind, it's like, you can't do that unless you pre-order.
Yeah.
I think actually, because I've been looking at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet pre-orders, and I think it's like they run the gamut of good to bad. So, like, for the good ones, like, if you pre-order from Amazon, you get, like, a healing bundle, which is like, you get a couple potions, a couple, like, revives. It's kind of nothingness. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you pre-order from Game, you get a statue, like a physical statue. It's probably, like, a little cheap plastic thing that no one cares about. That's also fine, like a little physical reward. Don't care. If you pre-order from the Pokemon online store, you get an in-game backpack. It looks ugly as fuck. But still, that's to me is too much. Then you're like, because completionists will get everything, and you need to get it from the Pokemon Online store.
Yeah,
if you want that in-game backpack.
I assume that's where they'll have the most markup for their game, or the most like profit margin for their game if you buy it from them directly. So that's probably deliberate, right? I just think like pre-orders, just anything that's not game breaking, or like you're saying, like goes on a list for completionists. Like, you'll never have this weapon.
Yeah, just cosmetic.
It's tricky because it's at finding the balance between having stuff that's interesting to make people pre-order, but at the same time it cannot be too powerful for people that miss the pre-order.
Yeah,
I stand by that. Pre-order bonuses shouldn't be a thing.
I mean, it's literally like out of date now, right? There is no reason to pre-order games anymore.
Well, it never really was.
Issue is it's like there's this whole thing of like, pre-orders show like how much people want your game and stuff, but it's like people that are going to buy your game are going to buy your game anyway. It's just worse for the consumer, because if the pre-order is too early and the game gets delayed and stuff, like they've already got that money, right? So now they're just losing money.
Or there was a reason for pre-orders before, because you had a physical number of stock in a shop.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. Yeah.
That's why it's always existed. I think it's like when I pre-ordered the Nintendo Wii back in the day, and then it's like, lucky I did that, because that's just it gone.
I can see that.
Yeah.
For digital games, pre-ordering shouldn't be a thing. The only thing I would allow for pre-order bonuses would be purely cosmetic.
Yeah, it has to be cosmetic.
My pre-order bonuses align the same with battle passes, in the sense that it should have no impact on player power or anything like that.
Yeah, I like the idea of pre-order bonuses that do eventually maybe go up for sale for like £1 or £2, where it's just like, okay, maybe it's a little treat for people that did get in early. But maybe, I don't know. But the more I talk about that, the more I feel shit about that.
Okay, so we've all said what we don't want pre-orders to be. What would you? You're making a game. You're showing it off at E3, and you're like, your CG trailer's done. You haven't shown gameplay, because of course you haven't. But what is the guy at the end who goes pre-order today to secure your whatever MacGuffin?
In all honesty, maybe like something exclusive on like Discord or something.
Yeah,
like you have access to something on Discord, like some emotes, or the people that are pre-ordering your game are the ones that obviously really like your game and want your game, and
Yeah.
are most likely to integrate into communities that want to talk about the game. So give them a role or a channel in the official Discord.
I think this sounds like a trick, but it kind of is fine. Is a good trick is pre-order to get early access, and then you can often still buy the game during the early access as basically launch. That is always a good one for me because it's like, it seems like you're getting early access, but it's basically just the game launches then.
Yeah, but that just dicks over people that don't.
Yeah, I don't like
pre-order.
that.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, but then you don't need. You can just buy the game on that day and have access usually. Like most of the time, it's a soft launch, and then a couple days later they're like, "Oh, it's launched." But and that's when you get the collector's edition rewards and stuff, and that's like their.
The only other thing that I would accept is pre-order bonuses being access to closed betas.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that was...
I don't like that.
No, see, that's the only thing I would allow.
See, yeah, because
Actually, yeah, I don't like that either, because now you're almost paying for a demo.
Yeah, you're paying for the demo, and it's like, if people want to, like, try the game before they buy, that's usually when the beta is, and now people are like Marauders, I'd like to try that game. I ain't getting in, and it's like unless you pay for it early, and it's like, nah, I'll pass.
But if a pre-order fundamentally is to like put yourself on the other side, right? If a pre-order is ultimately there, you want people to pre-order because it guarantees a sale or whatever. It's not a bad way to get people to get into it. A lot of people will buy Marauders despite it being on Game Pass because they want to play it ASAP. So
actually, I will say I have seen some games do it where pre-order to get like day 1 to 4 of the demo, and if you don't pre-order, everyone gets access on like day 4 to 7. That's fine. Like a little bit of extra beta stuff.
Yeah, to make sure your pre-order people get in.
Yeah, but then everyone can still try the game and see if they like it during a beta, because betas these days are
a beta a beta should not be, just play our game early. That's not what they're there for.
It should.
It is now.
It shouldn't be, but it is. Yeah.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. Like,
that's a whole different long conversation.
Giving access to closed betas should be, these people have bought our game. Therefore, that means on some level they want it to be as good as possible. And by participating in a beta, they help that and give feedback.
Yeah.
Not, buy the game, just play it early for a couple of days, see what it's like.
It's tricky. It's like the whole alpha beta thing. It's like, come participate in our open alpha 3 weeks before the game comes out. It's like, shut up.
Here's what I would include in my pre-order.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't know if I like. This is really hard.
It's
I think the short answer is just don't pre-order. I wouldn't pre-order.
Yeah. It's hard to come up with an idea because fundamentally I haven't pre-ordered a game in
a really long time
because there is no reason to.
You say that. I know people who are staunch anti-pre-order people. When you saw on Steam, like Elden Ring was coming out, it's like, that's been purchased.
Well, it's like
that's been pre-ordered.
Here's the things that I have pre-ordered. Any physical copy of a game for the Switch or the PlayStation 4, I do normally pre-order.
Yeah.
Just because I want it to arrive day 1. Not
especially
for
collector's editions.
But that I don't even. My mind separates that out, and I don't even think of that as a pre-order. That's buying a game so you get it delivered on time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're not doing that.
I'm not pre-ordering it. Yeah, I'm ordering it to arrive on time.
Yeah, so I want this on Friday when it releases, so I'm buying it on Wednesday so that I then get it. Yeah.
And the other thing is, I've pre-ordered the new WoW expansion because I know I'm going to play it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't.
It is tricky.
I think I dislike pre-orders. I don't dislike pre-orders, I guess, for digital games. I very much dislike pre-order bonuses. And I feel like pre-orders should be a thing of like... No, I don't know. I don't even know how to word my thoughts on it.
It's gotten to the point where I think pre-order bonuses these days are so small and pointless that, again, I don't even engage with them. It's like a lot of games now... they don't even have pre-order bonuses. They have like day 1 bundles, where it's like if you buy the game on launch, you essentially get all the shit that people were pre-ordering for. I guess people, like I said, realizing that people aren't pre-ordering as much these days, so might as well just give it to everyone on launch day. You get tons of day one editions of games that just have all the stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I don't see, like, I remember talking to my friends about like Deus Ex and how like, oh, if you buy it from here, you get this set of armor, and if you buy it from here, and like, yeah, I feel like that doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. It does not happen anymore. It doesn't happen
Yeah.
as much, for sure. I'm going to push this along because we go around in circles, but don't pre-order games you don't need to. That's my closing comment on it personally.
Unless the pre-order rewards are too good, then you have to.
Which they won't be. It'll be the same character's jacket, but it's blue, not red. And you don't,
I would
it.
bundle. I would be like first season pass. There you go. Pre-order, get the first season pass. Done. Easy peasy.
That's a no-brainer to pre-order though,
That's
because that's like free DLC.
Yeah.
They would never do that.
But then people would argue with that. That would just another.
Well, if you don't have to argue, just pre-order it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
people that miss the pre-order are going to be up in arms.
Well, that's their fault.
Should have pre-ordered it.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's like
I've seen some places they'll do pre-order and also launch week. You know, I think the last Total War did that, where it's like, you know, pre-order to get this race, but also if you just buy it in the first week, you can also have this race. I guess I don't really hate that.
It's tricky because it's basically like you're trying to think of a way to please everyone, and you cannot please everyone.
Yeah,
it's not a thing you can do, and that's why it's a tricky question to answer, because there is no correct answer.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, thank you for the question. If anyone else has more questions they want to send in, you can always leave them in the comments below, or you can email it in at thegameforecast@gmail.com. I always like it when we get a little random question. One just sort of
makes you think, doesn't it?
Makes you think. There's quite a lot of good news this week. We'll start with the big one, which was obviously Gamescom 2022. I feel like a lot of people have been getting, talking about this throughout the week. Even we've spoke about it here and there. I'm going to go through I'm going to like quick fire round, right?
Yeah.
And if you've got anything to say, chuck it out there, and we'll talk about it. But you got Everywhere, which was weird, almost
it looked like a crypto metaverse game.
It does look like my brain went to like metaverse. We want you to play everything here, kind of thing. Like how
buy NFTs, sort of game. It might not be, but that's what it looked like.
That was kind of weird. You had June Awakening. This annoyed me personally.
Yeah,
really,
me too.
Everything looks sick until the final word of the trailer is that it's an open world survival MMO.
Yeah.
I like the MMO part, but survival, I'm like, ooh, that could kill it for me.
Oh, we joked about this on Will's stream on Wednesday, saying about how like it's this cool Dune game, and you spawn in, and then you punch a tree, you mine some rocks, you make a pickaxe, and then you make a settlement, and you juggle thirst and hunger, and it's just all that in a Dune setting. That's what I think of. With survival MMO.
Yeah.
I was just hoping
it's like your Ark
MMO
or your
throws
Rust
me off, because I still don't classify like Last Oasis and all of those as MMOs, but I guess they are.
That's definitely what it's going for.
That's what it's going for. Yes,
yeah.
But
we'll have to see. We don't know any gameplay of it yet, though. So
yeah, I was just
it looks
like
cool though, doesn't it?
Oh, it's just like an alternate scenario where you get that same trailer and it says like, single player action RPG or something.
Action RPG, yeah.
And it's like,
I immediately turn off.
Nah, I'm immediately turned on.
Yeah, but you're weird, Sam.
Yeah, you play classic WoW.
Loving it, mate.
New controller. They somehow improved upon perfection. That's fine.
oh, sure, Josh. It was perfection.
Drink the Kool-Aid, Josh. Yeah.
I was sipping on my copium. Dead Space 4 gets new gameplay in the form of Callisto Protocol. I was on board with this game, and then this trailer's really annoyed me.
And then they showed it.
Yeah. It's just like... It's the fact that they try and show off stealth and this whole new mechanic of enemies getting stronger when you like decapitate them or whatever. But he just picks up every monster and throws them into a big blender, like 3 times, I think. And it's not the best trailer. Hopefully, it's going to be good.
Yeah. I feel like it's like, this is the Dead Space we always wanted to make, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm on board. And then every time they show it, I'm like, oh, do I? And I'm like, just stop talking about it. Just.
I'm almost like I'm gearing up and bracing myself for like, Callisto Protocol comes out in a week. Here's the review thread. It's like 7 out of 10.
Sevens.
Solid 7.
Well, I mean, yeah, but would you say you don't want to see more of it? But is this not like a good thing to see? Oh, it might not be the game you want. Like, you're not going to get too hyped for it. Like, temper your expectations.
But I'm saying this as a fan of someone who wants a new Dead Space.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh,
I get what you're saying, but like,
it's like, again, we were talking about it, where it's like this kind of feels like it, right? I feel like EA are watching from the sideline, like with a hand or a button that says reboot Dead Space,
green light Dead Space,
and they're waiting. They're waiting to see how their remake does and how this does, and literally based on that, the new you're either going to get Dead Space 4 or the whole franchise is literally going in the bin forever.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I hope it's good. You had that. You had the Lords of the Fallen. Not to be confused with Lords of the Fallen.
Confused the absolute shit out of me. I thought my YouTube algorithm had done like a, gone funny and been like, you want to see a trailer from 7 years ago from a different Gamescom or something? But no, they're just making Lords of the Fallen again, but with a "the" in the front.
Well,
what is Lords of the Fallen?
It's a really average. I'm going to annoy people by saying that. It's a really average Dark Souls knockoff.
Okay.
Kind of like
here's the best thing. As well.
It's probably, if you want to play a Dark Souls like, it's probably your best bet.
It sits in the same
at the time it was, for sure.
It sits in the same sort of group as like The Surge and games like that.
Well, same company as The Surge.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
If you watch this trailer, right, it plays music that you would like expect to be playing in like Doom or a fast-paced.
I love the trailer. I thought it was great.
No, the music does not suit the setting or the tempo
so
or anything.
You
listen to it and it's like.
I'm with Will on this. I really like that trailer.
I'm specifically talking about the music here. The music
it could
does
have been
not suit
a soulful remix of like, I'm horny or something. Like every movie does these days. Every trailer and every movie does. But no, it was rock music. I can't remember the song, but it was a great trailer.
I appreciated it that because they could have gone the other way, which I think is what you're expecting, Sam, where they take it almost far too seriously.
The point. It's more of the tempo of the song.
If
you listen to it and watch this slow, methodic medieval sword fighting, and the song's tempo is going about 2 million miles an hour.
So you're saying it's like offbeat kind of thing?
It does not suit it in the slightest.
I have to watch it again. I remember I've only watched the trailer once when it was revealed, and I remember I thought the trailer was really good. And it didn't occur to me that the music wasn't, fitting.
I was the reason I bring it up is because all I could think about, it put me off so much. Because I was like, what am I getting pumped up for here? I feel like it's just so high tempo.
The dude,
and so
falls down and revives, surrounded by 50 skeletons. That's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah,
that's high tempo.
No, it's not.
I saw some comments about this that I thought were quite funny, saying because of its name just being the same as the last one, but with "the" in it. Is that people were just gonna try and search for stuff to do with this game, and just find
that's genius.
Well, it's genius, but also not, because again, Lords of the Fallen wasn't overly well received. It's like what you look for. You go on Steam to look for the Lords of the Fallen, and instead you get Lords of the Fallen, some mildly positive reviews and Metacritic scores of the old one. And
I thought you were saying people Steve boots up and he doesn't know where to go, so he goes Lords of the Fallen, where do I go? And then it gives him loads of hints, but they're all completely impenetrable because they're from different games.
It's the wrong game.
It's it's the perfect way to fool people who just walk through these games, sort of thing.
I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other game that's done this. You get original name with a subtitle, but not just literally putting the word
No, there's plenty of games just do the same again, right? I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like Prey and then Prey again,
but not as a
right?
not as a sequel. Normally, it's like a reboot. I guess this is a reboot.
I can think of movies where it's like Alien, Alien 2, Aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see this more often. Yeah, than you think.
We'll go to the next one. You got Moving Out 2. Not really got much to say about this.
Didn't Moving Out 1 just come out like last year or something?
It came out, and I think it was on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It was on Game Pass, and I booted it, and it had no online play, and I was like, oh, so I turned it off.
Yeah. Sad.
But this one keeps pushing the fact that it's got online, so they obviously realised that they probably have metrics of people downloading it, booting it, and playing it for 90 seconds and just turning it off.
It'll probably be on Game Pass.
Probably.
Like, if you Google our game, the top result is why does this not have online multiplayer?
Yeah. Can you
so
play?
We're gonna do it.
Can you play Moving Out online? It's probably the most
that's the top query for our game. Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy got new trailer. Yeah, cool. Harry Potter.
That game looks really good. I don't know. I'm sort of interested in it. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan, but like, it's saying a lot of good stuff.
It looks alright, but I'm not frothing at the mouth for new content.
I just want it to come out so I can get actual reviews of it.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It got pushed to February, so it's still.
I know.
Long way away. New Tales of the Borderlands. I didn't play the first one.
Yeah, I've not played them. I've heard they're good, but
never played a Borderlands game.
Yeah, and you had Randy Pitchford on stage for that, the creepy magician game dev.
I think Borderlands just needs to be tied up with a bow and just, or at least the current story in Borderlands need to just be like done now.
I
played all of them. I couldn't really tell you anything about the story of any of them.
Borderlands as a series could entirely vanish, and I wouldn't care. I don't care for Borderlands at all.
Here's the thing. I loved Borderlands 1 so much that I have played all of the Borderlands off of the back of Borderlands 1.
Yeah,
same.
I can recite to you the entire storyline that goes on, and now I'm just like, it's done. Stop trying to add more.
Well, people must be asking for it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you can do a Borderlands, but like, just do a like, I don't know, like 1,000 years in the future or 1,000 years in the past, or just keep your same art style, your same looter shooter stuff, but please stop just using this. Like, you've got 3 brand new characters, as they always do. You have your brand new Vault Hunters or whatever, but the other characters in the story are all the same.
Oh, I see what you mean.
All the time.
Yeah,
and it's like, please just give me something fresh.
So Sam is bored of Borderlands.
I was going to say,
Borderlands.
I just scrolled down. I didn't realize so many games were revealed.
Yeah, you got. Some of these are like really quick. Like, it's nothing to say. Dying Light 2 DLC.
I missed that trailer. I think I blinked and it was gone.
It looks like just the game, but here's like an arena mode.
Yeah.
Fight people. Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale.
I unfortunately didn't miss that.
Yeah. You've got Marauders early access date.
Which I'm excited.
You're going to play early access?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm excited, but everything I see looks super promising, but very early, and like even as recent as the last beta, which I think was last month almost. I'm like, quite like to see a little bit.
I'm still waiting for Game Pass.
I'll wait for Game Pass.
I forgot it's on Game Pass. Never mind, I'll play on Game Pass.
That's why I was asking, like, because you have to physically buy it to get in.
No, I'm good. Game Pass then.
Sonic Frontiers, new trailer.
Boo.
It carries
Did anyone else feel that this trailer started good and looking actually okay, and then like it's like the first 30 seconds they were like, right, we actually need to put some like colors and some stuff in, and then the back half it was like, now we're back in the really empty open world with nothing to it.
I stand by that. I think both this trailer and the first trailer, like the announcement trailer, make Sonic Frontiers actually look kind of cool. But then as soon as they showed any gameplay, it's like, oh my god, this is garbage. Like, this is actually Unity like prototype garbage. because again, I watched this trailer and they cut stuff so quick. Like it's like this and that, and then he's jumping here and he's fighting this. It's like individually, all this stuff looks kind of cool. As far as like Sonic the Hedgehog goes.
Yeah.
But then
you piece it all together.
And you get a really boring open world game that's kind of dead and lifeless. I think this game is going to absolutely tank. I mean, like, you have like AAA games where you're like, oh, I didn't review very well. Like, I think this will utterly bomb. I can just feel it. Like 3s and 4s out of 10s.
Well, it's Sonic looked like it was on the turn for a while there, and they can't have that, so it's time to release another turd, and then normality is restored.
Well, normally you get like one good game, one bad game, but I think the last Sonic game
several Sonic games are bad.
There's several bad, but there are several good ones. I will defend Sonic. He has some good games.
Sonic Mania, but that was fans making the game.
Mania is good.
Yeah, that wasn't them.
Generations is good.
Is it?
The shitty Werehog one is kind of okay.
Very.
No, you really sold that one.
It's got 2 modes, and it's got the bit where Sonic runs fast mode, and that's good, and the bit where he turns into a furry Werehog, and it's like, oh, this is really bad. So you get the good with the bad. Yeah, fuck it. I'll play Sonic Frontiers when it comes out. Why not? Under the Waves from Quantic Dream didn't really show anything. It's just some underwater stuff. Goat Simulator 3 did nothing for me personally. Return to Monkey Island.
I've seen so much of this already. Like it's like, oh yeah, Monkey Island 1, but new art style, right?
Oh,
this is a
sequel.
Yeah.
This is a sequel.
Oh yeah.
They did this trailer, and they have a character in it. In this trailer specifically, it's supposed to be like a salesman, and he makes like horse armor DLC jokes from Oblivion, from like 15 years ago.
Weird.
And it's kind of like, oh no,
was that in the original? It can't have been.
This isn't a remake.
Oh, okay.
This is a sequel. This is a proper sequel to Monkey Island. Or the last Monkey Island.
And they're leading with horse armor DLC jokes.
It didn't land for me at all.
Interesting choice.
It's like, oh, you're joking about a thing that was controversial like 15 years ago, and we were joking about like 10 years ago.
We lost that fight on the island.
We did. That's like bringing up old wounds.
If only they could see the world of DLC now.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. You had Subnautica developer reveals sci-fi game with like weird tabletop characters.
I've
seen someone very interested in this, so
I'm interested in this. I think this looked really cool. I missed this one, and then people said like, kind of pseudo board game by the people who make Subnautica, written by Brandon Sanderson of all fucking people. Like most successful Kickstarter of all time, Brandon Sanderson.
Who's Brandon? Sorry. Who's Brandon Sanderson?
He's a fantasy writer.
Right.
A very famous fantasy writer. Very popular right now. But he's like a modern one,
Oh, and this game's called Moonbreaker, by the way.
And so, yeah, he recently did a Kickstarter where he was like, hey, I can't remember what it was. It was like, hey, kickstart, me, and I'll write like 4 novels or something. And everyone was like, okay. And they gave him all of the money in the world.
Yeah.
And then I think he even was like, this is too much money. I'm going to go and kickstart all of the other writers. It's so much money. I'm going to go and kickstart all the other writers' projects on Kickstarter.
That's good.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy by all accounts. But it was just like, it's a weird pairing that I would never have thought of, but also it looks kind of neat, and I think I'm into it. I really like the art style.
It's also completely opposite to anything the Subnautica devs have done thus far.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
I have heard this is because after Subnautica was so like a runaway success, they have hired enough people to where this is a whole nother like team within their studio who is making this. It's not that this is taking place of another Subnautica or anything. They're just like, hey, we're a proper studio now. We're gonna have multiple teams making other games. But
it did kind of feel like
just look cool.
Well, Subnautica came out and then they did the sequel, or was it Subnautica Below Zero?
Below Zero,
and I don't think that hit as hard for people as the first one did.
No, it didn't.
So as opposed to like doubling down and doing Subnautica 3, they're like, let's do something different in the meantime.
Let's diversify.
Yeah.
Let's not put all our eggs in the Subnautica basket every time. Yeah.
Friends versus Friends, just another like animated trailer, doesn't really mean much.
Hard-based shooter.
Yeah.
So it looked weird.
Lies of P, Pinocchio Souls.
People really like this one as well.
I'm so skeptical. I just like
it looks almost too promising where I'm like, this isn't real.
It's like it looks nice. The animations are really nice. The environments and like style is all brilliant. What's the catch?
It runs at 10 FPS.
Yeah. Does it just feel like shit to play? It's like you get it and you're like, oh no. You had that. Stranded Alien Dawn. Sand is your weapon in Atlas Fallen.
Atlas Fallen's another one I've heard people get quite interested about.
So when they first started showing this, I thought this was a trailer, like they'd made a game of that Unreal Engine 5 tech demo. Because it kind of looked like that, but I don't think it is. Yeah, it's just again the problem with this show. I think in general, there's a lot of CG trailers that didn't really mean anything.
Yeah, not enough gameplay.
Yeah, like Homeworld 3, bit of Genshin Impact, Job Simulator, Honkai Star Rail, which is just anime in space on a train, High on Life, which I thought looked fucking awful.
Okay. I still like the look of this game. That was a poor showing.
A very bad showing.
That game. There was a more extended gameplay section they put up after this that leads up to this boss, and that was better, but it was still. I really worry that it's like in a sort of tightly written, 20-minute episode of a cartoon. They can pump it full of jokes and that flows really nice. In a game where I'm going to be spending hours with, I got the kind of impression that like even from this gameplay demo that was like 20 minutes, 25 minutes long, I was like, could you all just shut the fuck up? Just a little, like tone it down a little bit. I heard, you're all talking too much.
I heard some people's sort of arguments and counter arguments being like, oh, don't worry, because like I assume, the more you play, the more it'll kind of fall to the background.
Yeah.
But my counterpoint to that is then what's the fucking point in the first place then?
Yeah.
Like if it's gonna just eventually get drowned out and you can't hear it or you don't notice it, then why do it? Why put so much emphasis on it?
There was a very funny joke in the gameplay trailer where there's a kid character and he's like being an asshole, and then he's like, "Oh, you can't shoot me! You're not gonna shoot me!" And then he shoots him. And the character's like, wow, normally you can't do that in properties such as these, makes allusions to the fact that you can never kill children.
Never kill children.
In a video game. You shoot this kid dead.
I think it's on Game Pass, so I'll play it.
Yep.
But
I
think the bar has been set incredibly low for me after
Maybe that's
trailer.
good.
Maybe
that's
it's
how
good.
you.
Yeah, I'm setting myself up to be pleasantly surprised, which is always
exactly
nice.
Yeah.
The Expanse gets a new trailer.
That's a Telltale game.
Yeah, I've never watched The Expanse, so I have no clue what it is.
I haven't.
It's
My
good.
brother
You should
has
watch
though.
it.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is now a multiplayer game. I think when the door opens and it showed them, I think I audibly out loud, like quite loudly, went, "What the fuck? Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Why?"
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could have guessed this. Like some niche horror movie from I think the 80s getting a weird like Dead by Daylight ish game.
It feels like there's been a whole like arms race recently. There's like Friday the 13th, isn't there? And Evil Dead, I want to say, was another one where it's like these weird asymmetric multiplayer horror properties. So I guess that's the new like the Wild West of indie games at the moment. Is just like whatever, I imagine by the end of the year we'll have a Leprechauns?
Like Leprechauns or just
Leprechaun asymmetric really multiplayer game. Yeah.
I would have like, even if this was like an announcement for like Dead by Daylight, I'd still be like, wow, that's niche. Like let alone a whole fucking game. It's still weird. You had that Scars Above. had a announcement trailer.
Great name for
Very
a game.
cool
I talked about it a little while ago, but holy shit, that's such a good name for a game.
Nothing really to say, just a big pyramid in the sky appears.
Yeah.
What else was there? What is this? Weird Song announcement trailer? Don't even remember that.
That was CG, but that was Bethesda people, I think, talking about making their own Souls game.
Oh, okay.
It looked neat, but again, like it's just CG, so
yeah, maybe I was making a cup of tea. DLC for Age of Empires 4, Gotham Knights showed some new bosses. Where the Wind Meets was like Chinese Souls, I think. That's what I'm thinking.
I talked to people who were really excited about that, but that game looked really bad to me. I don't know. I
have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hideo Kojima stole our idea. He's got a podcast.
He's got a podcast now. Fucking copycat.
Not as good as ours.
Park Beyond looked okay. I like the idea of just a theme park simulator game, but what if it's just fucking weird and dangerous?
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed cool, yeah.
Oh, the Pokemon car. That was weird.
No, there's no.
What were they thinking? So if you weren't watching,
glad.
Jeff Keighley got up on stage with a guy who has designed the new Mini, and it's a Mini, a car, a Mini brand,
a physical car, a real car
that you can go and buy, and it's partnered with Pokemon. And one of the big selling points was, I think he said, like word for word, well, you see, Pikachu is electric, so the car obviously had to be electric, which is sort of like.
But also, the car is
the level they were going.
The car is white and it has green wing mirrors and a green top. It's got Pikachu's like cheeks, I guess, kind of. You can see.
New car Pokemon confirmed.
Basically, yeah.
It's so ugly. It's so weird.
Phantom Hellcat, new game. Darktide got a new trailer. Still looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
Dorf Romantic coming to Switch. What is this? Blacktail story trailer. Another CG trailer for another game.
All of them were CG.
Yeah.
Bad.
The Outlast Trials. That looks really cool.
Actually, that game, you can go to Steam right now, type in the Outlast Trials, and you can register interest for the beta and potentially get signed up for that. So
yeah, I've done that. I want to play this.
Same.
It's cool. And then I think we're kind of they're at the end. A game called The Finals looks like a weird, I guess, like a
ex-Battlefield. That was cheeky. They were like, "Here's ex-Battlefield people making a new Battlefield called The Finals," which is like neat. We need a good Battlefield game.
Which
and they're showing gameplay, and it was like cool. And then they showed the trailer, and it was all CG with maybe not even 2 seconds of supposed
had
gameplay.
Like 7 seconds of ADSing down a gun. And I think
that was it. Yeah.
And then the last little bit was Dead Island 2. So,
was anyone actually excited for that as like a final reveal?
I don't think it's real.
Yeah, that's the thing. It came out, and I was like, now.
Yeah. It's been what, like
after all this time?
8 years or something, I think. It's been stupid.
Oh boy, we've got another CG trailer for Dead Island.
Yeah. Or at least we got actual gameplay this time, I think. So
yeah, we did.
We're one step closer. That was Gamescom. Rate all of you individually rate the whole show out of 10.
Yeah, every single
I did
thing.
Enjoy it. I'll give it like a 7.5.
I'll give it a solid 6.
I was just bored. Like, it didn't show anything new. Anything new it did show was like coming one day, maybe, except probably not, because it will get cancelled or delayed into oblivion. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it like a 2. There's just nothing there.
Wow. I was gonna say I'm giving it like a 3 or a 4 because it's all CG trailers, nothing that I was particularly like foaming at the mouth for.
Yeah, and then they ended the show. Jeff Keighley was like, "Oh, okay, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm out of here because I've got another show to organize in December." And it's like, Jeff, you've stopped doing all these shows. You're not showing anything. It's like,
it's the Game Awards in December, so maybe there'll be some good trailers there. We already know that
he's getting all that ad money now. He's getting all that ad money.
Jeff's out of control. He needs to rein it in a bit. Let's 2 or 3 good shows a year. That's all we need.
So that was Gamescom. We've got a few main stories. A lot of these can just be like kind of tick boxes. I'll go through a tick box really quick. You've got Dark Souls 3. It's now back on PC. after being dead.
The online.
features.
The online, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're working on 1 and 2 as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird they did 3 first. I don't
It's
know.
the newest one, isn't it?
One people are still playing,
I guess, yeah. That was that one. Yeah, nothing really to add to that.
Shouldn't have taken so long.
It should not have taken as long as it did. No, it's been really bad. Rift of the Necrodancer got gameplay trailer. Have any of you seen this?
I have not.
Oh god, it looks so good. So
Really?
Well, it looks good for Josh. For me, it's like, oh, it's okay.
well, it's like, so I thought they were just going to do like the same gameplay again, right? But this is like, you can see here, there's like a punch out element where you like dodge. There's like mini games, kind of like the game Theatre Rhythm or WarioWare. There's like a Guitar Hero-ish bit, like this bit here. You can see it just look, and the art.
Cool.
I think the art looks incredible. I really like the like thick black outlines. It just looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. So those are a couple of really quick. Oh, we'll do one more really quick one. You had not sure if any of you watched this. This is the combat trailer for Atomic Heart.
I still don't know what Atomic Heart is.
I have no idea what that is.
Atomic Heart is like the weird Russian Bioshock-ish game that kept getting trailers, and people were kind of like, "Is this game real? Is this just like vaporware?" But yeah, they've finally shown some gameplay, and it is on Game Pass as well, so it must be somewhat of like a real game.
Did you think it looked good though?
I think it looks really, really good. If you get a minute to watch this, I highly recommend you check it out because it looks really cool. I hope it's real. It could still be elaborately fake, I guess.
That's what, because the original one, like they showed this concept and it was like, this looks so cool. This just looks like an animator's like sizzle reel, you know?
Yeah.
And at some point they were like, no, it's a real game and it's coming out soon. And it's like, is
actually,
it?
you've got the trailer on in the background and watching it. I'm like, this is actually, there's a lot of crazy stuff here. Maybe this is worth looking at.
It looks really cool.
It looks like a horde shooter more than anything, though.
I think it's kind of. I don't really know what it is. Again, they haven't shown a whole lot. It looks kind of like semi-open world, go around big areas. It looks cool. The enemy designs are fucking really cool. They're like
I'm getting kind of Control vibes as well, with like the psychic powers that they're doing.
Yeah, it's certainly for me. It's certainly like Bioshock or Prey or something like that.
Yeah, I get big Prey vibes. Yeah.
So this just looks really cool. Okay, so one of the big stories of the week you had. This is from the official PlayStation blog. The PS5's price is increasing in a lot of countries due to,
except for the USA, because
for some reason. So we're in England, obviously. 30 quid. It's going to cost you extra to get a PS5 now compared to before.
Oh man,
just reeks of corporate greed.
Yeah, it's like they could have.
I think it's just. I mean, it could be that, or it could be the cost of shipping stuff globally has gone up fairly substantially recently.
I understand that, but Sony's not hurting for money. Like,
but they're not the big boys who can just, because Microsoft in response to this came out and were like, "Yeah, we're not upping our prices. We don't need to."
Didn't Nintendo as well also come out and say we're not upping our prices? I think as well.
Or Nintendo. Okay, so Nintendo Switch still sells insane numbers.
You can't buy a PS5 because it's still selling insane numbers, right?
Okay, so it is easier now. I have someone that I work with. He just wanted to buy a PS5, right? He was like, I'm just going to buy a PS5. Couldn't buy one online. Like Amazon was sold out, Argos was sold out, just everywhere's just gone. So he rang up.
Argos.
He rang up his local game, and said, "You got any PS5s?" And they were like, "Yeah, we've got 18. Just come buy one." So
they've been scalping.
Well, I think it's just people's first shop these days is online, right? But if you go to like a physical retailer, they've got stock. I don't really know what point I was trying to make. It's basic. So the price is going up. Microsoft have come out and said, "Oh, we're staying the same." It's like, you are also like 50 times the market value of Sony or whatever.
Yeah. I imagine they were already not making profit on
Yeah.
on well, yeah.
Well, it's tricky because I'm with both of you on this because shipping costs and electronic costs and this, that, and the other have increased. Of course they have due to just everything. But then also, like, they've already raised the price of their games as well.
Yeah.
to compensate
I'm
a lot of
not
that.
like
Yeah.
I'm not on like Sony's side here. I'm not care either way, but I'm just trying to.
My
Yeah.
thing is why is it only some countries? Like, why couldn't they just do like, oh, we're increasing the price of everywhere by like 5% rather than everywhere is getting like a 10%, rather than these few countries are getting a 10% increase or whatever, you know?
Well, it's probably how much
Those are made up
They've run the
numbers.
numbers. They've run the numbers.
But yeah, you run the numbers, and we probably don't want to offend as much the entire US market, so we're going to leave the US market. We have analysts that specifically whose job is to work out and go like, yeah, you could get away with this in the UK. Don't do it in America, but you could do this in the UK and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I already like I wouldn't buy a PS5 right now unless it was like for like streaming.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing out that I particularly want other than maybe Final Fantasy 16, but that's somewhat confirmed it's also going to be on PC.
Depends if it's day and date.
Yeah, it's to me it's like they didn't need that very extra quid. Like they could have probably just been fine.
I feel like these stories always come out with something like CEO of Sony has yearly bonus increase of like like $10 million.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Like, it's a bit like when I remember thinking like when Corona first hit, Sony released like they had like 7 free games, including Horizon, the original. I've got that downloaded because it was free, and I was like, oh, they're really like looking out for people. And now this way, it's already hard enough-ish to get a PS5. Now they're increasing the price. It's like they probably could have taken the hit here.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because it's funny always watching whoever is like the leader of the previous generation kind of like chill a little bit and be like, yeah, we can do this. We can get away with doing this. Whereas the person playing catch up, like Xbox, is like, oh yeah, Game Pass, shitload of games. We're doing this, we're doing that, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost just like if it starts like swapping again, you always have one person comfortable and the other person playing catch up, and then Nintendo on the side just printing money.
I've always seen Sony as like above Xbox because most of the Xbox games were also on PC, whereas Sony had exclusives. But like with Game Pass now being so dominating, and like PlayStation be like, we're increasing the price of our console when if you can't afford one now, you know, it's bad luck.
Well, it's literally you can see the pattern, which was PS3 comes out with Xbox 360, and the PS3 kind of sucks, has no games, it's too expensive. So they play catch up the entire generation, and then the next generation, Xbox are like, oh yeah, you know, we're doing whatever. Here's Connect. Your Xbox has to always be online. This, that, and the other. Whilst the PS4 is doing a bunch of like shit that's good, and they overtake. And now it's the opposite again. It's always that back and forth. So it's like, if the PS5 wasn't, you know, in the state it is, you know, such a strong backing from the PS4, would they be doing this? Could, you know, maybe they think like we can't afford to do this because, you know, they don't have the market share. Because they feel they're in such a comfortable spot. They can literally just raise the price and be like,
yeah, that is another factor. Yeah.
But yeah, that's that one. Understandably, people are very annoyed. I mean, it's just a price increase, right? In a time when no one has a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that was that story. Another story you had. This, even I don't fully understand this because it all happened so quickly. There was a whole bunch of ramblings and talking about Amazon acquiring EA.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I think it was on a day that I was playing with you on stream, and in the span of like 4 hours, my Twitter was exploded. Then I came back to tweet saying like, everyone calm down, nothing's happening. And I was like, wait, what? What's
like,
what's going on?
Yes, I had the same thing.
I've clearly missed something. So yeah, basically there was a whole bunch of talk about Amazon acquiring EA. It's of my understanding that EA have potentially been looking for some sort of buyer for a while. They're not against it. They're like,
they saw all the other games companies were like, anyone want us? And
but yeah, that didn't really go anywhere. EA's stock apparently like soared at the idea of being purchased by Amazon. But yeah,
Amazon was thinking about buying us. I don't know if
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Go buy
stocks now, please.
Buy your stocks now.
Yeah.
before they soar.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was just a really weird, quick thing that happened. Basically, it's just in the blink of an eye, you could have had another massive, purchase.
So it's definitely. Is it like this is definitely not happening, or like it's not happening? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I think it's kind of the second
members.
one. Yeah, I think it's kind of the second one where it's like or update like the official quote. This is not going to happen today. Like read into
It'll happen next week.
Exactly.
It'll happen the minute we finish recording.
Yeah, as is tradition.
As is tradition. Yeah.
What was it? We finished the podcast last week, and then it was like, oh yeah, Gamescom's tomorrow. Fuck.
No, that was me. I was like, I forgot to mention it. I was mad at myself.
Yeah. So that's that news story, and then last one of the week. This is kind of a little one, but I feel like it affected both of you. Streaming stuff.
It affects me massively.
Yeah. So Sam being the mega streamer that he is, if Sam wants to, he can now stream on other platforms, not at the same time.
Yeah, it's don't get ahead of yourself. Like it's the select partners right now, but like you've got to like check your permissions before you actually start to do this. Check your contracts because apparently, if it's available to you, your contracts would have updated. But if you can now, if you're a Twitch streamer, again check your contracts. You can end your Twitch stream and actually start a YouTube stream, and that is fine now. Yeah. Apparently, you can do mobile stream, like the Instagram, the TikTok. You can stream at the same time as Twitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now you can apparently turn off your Twitch stream, turn on YouTube stream, which does have benefits to people.
So I was just going to say quickly, does Twitch support like portrait streaming? So like, could you simulcast to Instagram and Twitch?
I think maybe for the for the ones they're calling the mobile streams, not to Facebook, not to YouTube.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like for example, Twitch, like there's some weird stuff with copyright on Twitch, like music. I know like a lot of VTubers, if they want to do singing, they often do it on YouTube. They do like a YouTube exclusive stream because in their contracts, apparently they can or something. And
okay, right.
There's stuff that you can do on YouTube that you can't do on Twitch. There's stuff you can do on Twitch that you can't do on YouTube. So having the options is good.
Yeah, they were talking about something similar a while ago. Do you think they'll ever allow proper simulcasting to like YouTube and Twitch?
The FAQ says no because
but could you see it happening, or just like
I don't think they'll ever let you broadcast on both.
Yeah, unless you're like a company already, like or you're not affiliate.
Yeah,
because they say like broadcasting to multiples lowers the quality of it.
I saw that. I was like,
lowers
come
the quality
on.
of your viewer engagement, and they want people focused on Twitch.
Yeah. Well, isn't there software that like consolidates chats into one thing? I think I've seen that somewhere.
There is, but that's for the stream and not for the Twitch audience.
Oh yeah, but you could capture that and put it on your stream.
Yeah, like, they don't want it to be like, oh, the fun audience is on YouTube, so go over there. The Twitch ones are kind of whining,
That's pretty funny. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was a lot of people were talking about this on Twitter. So I thought I'd bring that up. I would love to see proper simulcasting. Could you like? Is it bannable? Would you just get banned, or they just like stop paying you?
Yeah, you'd be breaking agreements, so they could just terminate your.
But what I'm saying is, could you technically not be a partner or affiliate and still do it?
Oh yeah, if you're not, you can go right ahead.
Yeah, if you just boot up a stream, you don't agree to anything. Well, apart from like basic terms of service.
Yeah.
No offensive stuff, but you can. Yeah. I will actually.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I think you can.
Yeah.
I think you can.
No, yeah, you can. It's once you sign the affiliate agreement, that's in the contract.
I did just know if Twitch was going to be like, I'm doing it on Twitch and YouTube because I'm not a partner or affiliate, and they're just like, well, I'm still going to ban you. Like, it says in your account, don't do it.
I was talking in Will's Discord, actually. There's technically there's a rule that any content made on Twitch, you're not allowed to upload to other platforms till 24 hours after it's been on Twitch. Twitch has 24 hours exclusivity. Technically, that's a rule. I don't think it's
that can't be enforceable.
Much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's because I remember there was an issue with people taking clips and they would upload it to YouTube, stealing a streamer's clips, and just upload them to YouTube. And there were some streamers who were like, well, technically we're not allowed to, so we can't even outcompete our own clips because they've had 24 hours. Where technically we're not allowed to put him up. But I don't think that's a heavily enforced one. But yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, that's the last news of the week. That's everything for the week. So,
well, you say that, but we've got several games coming.
Oh yeah, you said there's tons of stuff coming out. Go on.
Yeah, there was several games. There's actually one for each of you that I was like,
a gift from Steven.
So nice.
Well, this first
my
one,
backlog grows bigger by the second.
but there's one. There's 8 games coming out, but I've pinpointed one that each of you might like. Seems like a game for each of you.
Okay.
But first of all, we have Immortality, which is it's real people.
I know this.
It's the people who did Her Story.
You googled the word immortality on the side.
I'm an idiot.
But yeah, this is the real people. In a game story, click based, whatnot.
Yeah, it's her story where you jump in and out of actual
like Super Seducer.
Like Super Seducer. Why does that keep coming up? Why
are we
where I would have taken
it's like the 4th week in a row we've mentioned.
But these games always seem pretty popular. Either they're really good acting or really bad acting that you can kind of poke fun at. But
these graphics are so good, it's just like a movie.
That one is out on the 30th of August.
Nice. That's today.
Who's this game for?
No, this one isn't for anyone. The next game is the one I pinpointed for Josh.
No one can play this.
Which is on the 30th we have Tinykin, which it's a Pikmin clone game.
Oh, I saw this. I'm hopping in and out of whether or not I think this will be any good. I hope it'll be good.
I look at that picture and I'm like, oh, it is a clone, huh?
Yeah, you have lots of little different coloured friends who you can make do, and they each do different things.
Are they ears or are they massively flexing?
Those are buff arms. Surely,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it looked very...
Oh, that makes it so much more funny if they're all just flexing on each other.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, this game, it looked interesting. The trailer, in Pikmin, you see Pikmin, you have Pikmin following you constantly. This game, it seemed like there was a lot of sections that you didn't have the Pikmin clone things following you, but it also seemed it's very stylized, very, very cute. Might be good if you like Pikmin.
That looks like Gurren from Gurren Lagann. Hang on. This is an anime thing, I'm so sorry.
Weeb.
There it is. you see it?
No.
It does look... I'm not going crazy.
It's just you, man.
It definitely looks like Gurren. Anyway,
no.
That's my game. Wow, I got shafted this week.
Yeah.
Elden Ring 2 for me.
Next we have the game for Sam, which is called Orcs, ORX. Which it's a tower defense game where it's card based as well. It looks kind of like Settlers of Catan almost. Yeah. Oh no, Carcassonne. That one.
So I'm both laughing at Steve's attempt to play Carcassonne and Josh's googling skills.
Josh has found some kind of company insurance broker. Like what?
I think it was ORX, right? Yeah, it's ORX.
Yeah.
So coming to PC.
It's the largest operational risk management association in the financial services sector. Okay, let's try this again. ORX game.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, it's a video game. Okay. My bad.
But yeah, it says it's tower defensey and
Oh, that does look cool. Can I have Sam's game?
Yeah, you can.
You can have Tinykin.
I don't want Tinykin.
You can have Tinykin.
This does actually look very cool.
Yeah. and that's again out on the 30th.
Okay.
Next, we have the Turtles Cowabunga collection. This will be for anyone who played Turtles games when they were younger. Basically, they're re-releasing them out, all of them, on the 30th in one big collection.
All right, next.
That's not for me, right? That's not
No,
mine.
that's not for you.
You have to play this.
Next, this game looks kind of okay. It's called World War II Rebuilder or WW2 Rebuilder.
Oh, I've seen videos of this. Yeah.
Which
I've never heard of this.
The pinnacle of sim games.
It's basically after World War II is like over, you're a construction worker, like knocking down the rubble and building up the buildings again.
Oh my god.
It feels like it crosses lines, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It also looks like that game, that refurbishing game that Josh played that he got addicted to for a day or two.
House Flipper.
That one. Instead of like houses, it's after a war.
This feels like
There's
the kind
a
of game
line somewhere.
Yeah,
and I doesn't know where the line is and where this game is.
You're playing this and just like grandpa walks past and sees your screen and starts having like PTSD or something. It's like, is this too far?
Yeah. Next was the wheel game, although it might be the game after as well. Is called Scathe, and that's out on the 21st or Scathe.
How do you Scathe?
SCATHE.
Scathe.
This is out when?
On the 31st of August.
Have a look.
Oh, I've seen some people tweeting
like
about this.
Or some sort of shooter, and I was like, that looks like a wheel game.
The fuck? Will's games are awesome. This isn't fair.
My game would beat up your game and take its lunch money, Josh.
Literally, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
I get some 2D Pikmin game. This looks like Painkiller or Doom again. It's another boomer shooter for Will.
I think this is the online co-op one people have been posting loads of like GIFs of. Yeah.
Maybe.
It looks neat. It looks okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what's
thank
next?
you, Steve. I appreciate the gift you've given me.
Next one, we have Mythbusters, the game, out on September 1st.
I'm not humouring that. What else you got?
Oh, I thought you guys liked Mythbusters.
It's a show.
It's a crazy experiment simulator, I'm not sure. And the last one is more just like newsy, is Ooblets is finally being launched on September 1st on Epic Game Store properly and on consoles as well.
How is that not out?
But this is like its full proper release now.
That game had good music. I like the music in that game.
The game was like Pokemon-esque, but more Animal Crossing meets Pokemon.
It had the Ooblets was like it was a weird card battling game, but it was based on making your Ooblets dance.
Yeah, and you grew your Ooblets in a farm, and then you just had them follow you.
I played all of the early access of this game, or what was available, and it wasn't great. It was okay.
It was okay. That was like months and months and months and months ago though.
Yeah.
So
it was over a year ago.
Yeah, I'll give it another check out, but yeah, I was like, this is out properly now. Still not on Steam apparently, but
is that all your games?
That is all the games.
You have missed one.
Oh, there was the game on PS5. What was it that you said about?
So Last of Us Part 1 is coming out, which is a remake.
Oh, remaster.
No one can afford a PS5 though, Josh.
I'll be playing this. Of all the games you listed, like this is what I'll actually be playing. So this comes out on Friday. Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
Josh with a silver spoon in his mouth.
I love
He
Last of
works
Us.
hard, I'll have you know.
Not for much longer.
But
yeah, this is what I'll be playing because Last of Us is
Isn't this
amazing.
like the third remaster of this game?
No, it's the first remake. There's the original game. They remastered it for PS4, and now they're remaking it for PS5.
I can't wait till we get remasters of remasters of remasters.
Yeah, I can't wait till The Last of Us Part 1 remaster remake. Yeah.
Well, I think
Sorry, remake remaster.
the cool thing about this is that you'll have just Part 1 looking really good, and it goes straight into Part 2. And I think what I read as well, which was really cool, is there's a whole bunch of accessibility stuff in the second game for people that are visually impaired or literally blind. That allows them to play The Last of Us Part 2, and they've put all of that into this game as well, obviously. So now people that struggle to hear or see or play on a regular controller can play both of these games, fine, which is really good. I like that kind of stuff. It's always cool. What was that?
You said both of these games.
Or part 1 and part 2.
Oh, are they actually releasing part 2?
Part 2's out. Oh my god, Steve.
This is part 1. Shouldn't this be part 3 then?
No, it's a remake.
So I'm just messing with you.
What is going on in your brain, Steve? What the
I'm just messing with Josh.
It's getting late.
All I heard was both.
Yeah, okay.
He didn't like Tinykin, the game I handcrafted for him.
Heard I was pretending to troll.
I was only acting stupid.
I was only acting stupid. Thanks for listening, everybody, if you've made it this far. I'm going straight into socials. If you've liked what you've listened to, as always, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment. That always helps out. I am BottlerWorks. You can find me on everything as BottlerWorks. If you liked the video at the start of horizontal spinning bomb lance, that's my new video on my YouTube. Took like 2 seconds to make. You can find me on all the normal stuff. How about you, Will?
Hello, my name is Will and/or BottlerWorks. Oh God,
Was that a mistake or a bit?
I'm done.
And Steve.
Hi, I'm Quikwix. That's Quikwix. I stream on Twitch most days, and I have a Twitter and a Discord. Come check it out.
And Sam.
Yeah, I'm Sam. Still Sam.
I always love the little pause you do right before you say anything. It's like suspenseful, right?
It's like a big reveal. Yeah.
Sam's checked out. He's on StarCraft 2 already.
Is he? Oh, we'll let him play. We'll let him play.
I ain't playing games on the podcast. I've got something on my other screen.
Yeah, Steve tells me he actively gets bored and reads Twitter during the podcast. So.
I've seen him
That
tweet.
makes an awful lot more sense.
I've seen him tweet mid-podcast before.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.